Tracy with MeatRx. I'm here today with Coach Bobby. Hi, Bobby.
Hello, how are you?
Great. Thank you for coming. I wanted to find out all about your success story, and you're a new coach on MeatRx, and it's exciting. And can you start by telling us what was life like before you came to a meat-based carnivore diet, and like what health conditions you had, or what kind of foods did you eat?
Oh boy. Well, there are several others who've had similar stories. Mine was like a lot of people. I did the whole yo-yo dieting thing for several times. I recall 4 different times. It may have been more than that. You lose count after a while, but you just say, I'm going to lose some weight, and then you start restricting what you eat and exercising, a great amount and all that. And I did lose weight, each of those times I lost a significant amount because, it's a whole lot of things, but I wanted to let my doctor know that I was serious. And then he was real happy. But then each time it just came crashing down because I didn't understand what I now understand, that unless you're satisfied eating, you're just going to go right back to the way you were. There's probably this mindset. I think I had it. Probably most people have it. They think, well, I'll lose this weight, and then I'll treat myself, and I can eat some things again. But then it just gets out of control again. You just go right back up. So they don't call it yo-yo dieting for nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So really, I was kind of miserable. Really, I didn't realize to what degree I was until after I lost this weight. But it was just really big. At my heaviest, I was 370 pounds. That's not so good.
Wow. How tall are you, Bobby?
On a good day, 5'7".
Okay.
And I was up to 5X shirts, and I think the biggest waist I ever had was a 54. I'm down to a 40 now, which I want to go even down more. That's still a work in progress, but I'm real happy with it, real confident. So I'm down about just slightly less than 220.
Mm-hmm.
So I've lost about 150. And the shirts now are XLs. When you are as big as I was, you have to go to the Big and Tall store, or not to invoke a trade name, but Big and Tall selections of any retailer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, what kinds of foods were you eating back then? Like when you said you were yo-yo dieting, did you have like limited calories, or how did you work that out?
Yeah, I recall the greatest success I had losing weight using that method. I would eat once a day, and I would come home, and my wife would make it for me. I had 2 breasts of chicken and a bunch of rice, and put a bunch of Parmesan cheese on that, about half the container, and some, I guess some people call it succotash, mixed vegetables. And that's what I would do. And I did lose weight. But I also exercise like a crazy person, like at least 30 minutes per day on a treadmill. And I did all that. And I did lose weight. And you can lose weight with that method. It's kind of calorie restriction.
Mm-hmm.
And really low fat, but it won't last. It doesn't last. It didn't for me. I did it more than once. and unless you learn why you're not satisfied, you'll just go back to the way you were. I was now that was one of the cycles of the yo-yo cycle there, but well, after that cycle was over, and then I went back to eating badly like so many people do. It was like it's kind of like every time I walk by the refrigerator, I would say, what can I eat? And I'd get these like a lot of people, you get a lot of your information from television, and it's not good information, most of it. And I think we all kind of know that, that's what I did. I got most of my information from television. It was bad information. Mm-hmm. So I got up to, went to my doctorate, checked in at 370 pounds. And after it was over, I said, this has got to stop. If I don't do something, I'm going to be up to 400 pounds. And I said, I can't do this. This has got to stop. So one of the problems I knew I had was eating before going to bed. That's terrible. It's just terrible. You feel good when you eat, and then you go to bed and you feel good for about an hour, and then you sleep terribly. And you just do the same thing again the next night. It's just awful. You just get bigger and bigger. That's what I did. So I said, that's got to stop. So I came across the idea of confining your eating to a small window of time. And the first thing I came across was, start at, just make it an 8-hour window, 8/16 they call it. Make it an 8-hour window. So you do all your eating within an 8-hour period, and then 16 hours you don't eat. You just have water or coffee or something. So I did that for a while, and that was my start. That helped a lot. And then I came across a guy named Jason Fung. Probably know who that is. And, I saw some of his stuff, and he said, people eat way too much in this country, in Western society, and they do. And he says, really take your eating window and start shrinking it down as best you can. And that's what I did. I just started shrinking it down. And I came across some other people that did the same thing. They call it OMAD, 1 meal a day. Mm-hmm. And the funny part is, when I said something about this to my doctor, he goes, that's what I do. And he's a real trim guy, real good weight and all that. I don't know how much on board he is with these ways of eating, but he's just real trim. And here recently he asked me, well, what are you eating? And I said, basically meat and a few vegetables. And he seemed to think that was okay, But anyway, I got this window shrunk down to one hour a day. And then I came across MeatRx and some things like that. And I came up with the idea from others that, the more you confine your eating to animal-based products, and the more you can squeeze out vegetables, the better off you're going to be. And that's what I did. I would say I'm, as far as vegetables are concerned, probably 10%. And there's a reason for that, and that is I'm married and I want to stay married. And my wife just thinks that vegetables won't hurt you. So we've kind of reached a compromise, and I just confine my vegetables to just a few certain ones, and I don't eat that much. It's mostly meat, and it's, if you want, I can give you just about every week. It's about the same if you're interested in that.
Oh yeah. At first I wanted to ask you though, did you have any other health conditions besides being overweight when you went to the doctor?
Yeah. I have something called hidradenitis suppurativa. If you know do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Well, it just floors me that the medical community knows what it is and give it a fancy Latin name. I presume it's Latin name. They have a name for it. They don't have any cure for it. They say there's no cure for it. There's no remedy for it. And they tried different creams and things. And one doctor I went to said, we can cure that. We can drive that up. I guess I ought to tell you what it is. It's this is 9 times more common in females than males. And so naturally I'm one of the males that gets it, that has it. So it's a little graphic. I try not to be too insensitive about it, but let's just put it this way. Females tend to get it between their navel and their neck, and I'll just leave it there. And males tend to get it below the belt. And it's what it is it's sweat glands that won't drain properly, and they build up blood blisters is what it comes to. And at its worst, I mean, it's painful. This is really disgusting. I'm sorry, but it's painful. It's some of them ooze this disgusting pus stuff, you know, and it's just not nice at all. And it was terrible. And you're in pain. Sometimes you'd be sitting down and all of a sudden you just get this shooting pain, you know, and you have to do something. And I could give you more detail, but I won't do that. But what I will say is, since going carnivore, it's 90% better. And it's not totally gone, but I think maybe it will be. And it's to the point now where I don't think about it. I just know it's there a little bit, and it's just there a tiny bit, you know. 90% of the impact or whatever is gone, and I'm so grateful. I also had, since I was a kid, I was told I had asthma, and I suppose technically I still do. You know, I live in the Midwest where there's lots of farmers, you know, and they grow corn and soybeans. And when they get out, I haven't gone through in October yet, which it'll be October here shortly, where the farmers get out in the field with their combines and they just stir everything up, and the air is full of corn dust and I don't know what all, all kind of pollen and allergens and all kind of things. As long as I don't go into a field or really close to one, I'm okay, or have been in the past. But if I had the unfortunate experience of having to go out into a field or come close to where this big cloud of stuff is before they get their harvest done and they get it all settled, I could have an asthma attack. But I haven't had one in a long time, and allergies goes right along with it. And in the past, this time of year, I've had to take some stuff called it's over the counter. There's several trade names, but it's called, I think it's called famotidine. No, that's not it. I can't remember the name, but it's like in all the allergy medicines like Zyrtec and those kind of.
Claritin and stuff.
Yeah, those kind of medicines. I got the generic version, and like last year, you know, I took that for, you know, basically from like middle of August until, you know, we got a hard freeze, like maybe Thanksgiving. But this year I haven't taken it even once, and I'm glad, you know, no sneezing or sniffles or any of that. Other things have mitigated. Athlete's foot is another thing, and I haven't had to worry about that. High blood pressure, of course. My blood pressure was really high. Doctor, at my heaviest, I mean, the doctor put me on these medications. Since I've lost this 150 pounds, he's taken me off of 2 of them, and I'm sure he's going to take me off again because I take my own blood pressure at home, and it's running on the low side. So I'm sure he'll take out some more, hopefully with the goal of taking them all out.
Yeah. Did you say you lost 115 pounds?
50.
150. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And feel better than I've felt in 30 years. And I've had if there's a slight downside to this, and it's very, very slight, it's a good problem to have, is I've had to buy a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
I just went down a pant size, and the pants last me 7 weeks before I had to go down again, you know, so.
Yeah.
So I was a 54, now I'm a 40 waist, and I was wearing 5X shirts, and now it's XL. So,
wow.
And I'm
That's
thinking
really
thank you. I think it's going to get better even yet.
Right.
I hope I answered your question.
You did. Now, you were going to tell me what kind of rotation you eat certain meats at the same time each week or something like that?
Well, between my wife and myself, like I say, we kind of reached an agreement on how, because it's just the two of us, our kids have grown up, moved away.
Mhm.
And so, I don't want her to cook 2 meals, and neither do I. Sometimes I do the cooking to try to give her a break. And so like Monday, typically she makes taco stuff, taco meat and all that. And I don't eat the shell. Basically all I have is the meat. She dices up some onions, and I put on a little bit of cheese. I try to really back way, way, way down on the cheese, but I do that. And that's Mondays. Tuesdays, typically she makes something called a hamburger skillet. It's just ground beef, and she puts some mushrooms in it, and a couple other things. But that's it basically. And she insists on some vegetables, so she'll make. One of the things I can deal with a little is she makes this riced cauliflower.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little of that, and then Wednesday and Thursday, like today, we go to the store and get rotisserie chicken, and just have that. And that lasts 2 days because I get two of them. I like the dark meat. She likes the light meat. And so we get 2 meals out of that. And then Friday, she likes me to bring something in from one of the restaurants. So I stick to burgers, no bun, no ketchup, no, what's the other thing? Bun, ketchup, something else.
Mustard.
Uh,
Mustard sometimes.
oh, cheese, no cheese.
No cheese.
No bun, no ketchup, no cheese. I don't really, the pickles come with it, but I don't eat them. A little onion, some mustard. What else? And then Saturday, I try to do the cooking. We have a sous vide set up. You probably know what that is.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And like this coming, we've kind of refined our tastes down and our budget down to such a way where we can have something that I like and something that she likes. So for her, I make filet mignon, and that's a little on the pricey side, as you might imagine. And for me, I make pork chops, which are a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And I sous vide those and then sear them in a skillet. And then Sunday we have my youngest daughter over, and we have this coming Sunday we plan to have pork chops again with either fried eggs or scrambled eggs. And then we start over on Monday.
Awesome. So you include eggs, so you don't have any egg sensitivity, and you do cheese, but you try to limit that.
Yeah.
Do you drink coffee or tea or any of that?
Black coffee, 2 cups a day. A lot of not trying to be insensitive between the sexes here or anything like that, but it's like if there are women out there who are listening to this and they have a husband and he has difficulty with his urination and she doesn't know why, maybe I would think that a wife and husband, by the time they're 40, they know what this is. But if you're younger and if you're a woman and you're younger and your husband has difficulty urination, it could be caffeine. Caffeine aggravates it. And maybe I should cut it out altogether, but it's so hard. So I keep it to 2 cups a day.
That's good. Yeah. So you have made all these improvements. Is your doctor, you said he was happy about everything?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I kind of talked to him a little bit since all the COVID stuff has come out. I haven't actually been in to actually see him in person, so we just talked by telephone. I've talked to him. It's been 2 or 3 times I've talked to him by telephone. I just take my own blood pressure at home and my weight, and I just talk with him on the phone, and he's really delighted that I've lost all this weight because I had so much that I carried around for so long. Mm-hmm. Really.
Yeah.
Too much.
That's good. Yeah. So how many children do you have?
2 adult daughters and 2 grandsons.
Oh, okay.
Twin grandsons. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had if they had ever noticed the difference in you. Had they ever asked about carnivore?
Um, yes. Oh, they've of course noticed the difference, because they've known me. We've known each other all of their lives, and
Right.
I was, if you look on my carnivore coaching page, there's a picture of me when I was much, much bigger. You can see that. And a picture of more like what I am now. And I've had the experience of running into people I haven't seen in a long time. Maybe others, have had the same thing, and I've come to talk to somebody I haven't seen in months and months, and they say, "My gosh, you've lost a lot of weight," and then we get into a discussion about it like that. So
That's good. So you have got to share it with some people, and now you're a coach on MeatRx. And do you have a coaching strategy?
Well, it would probably just go right along with the lines of the things we've already talked about. Try to. I have learned from Dr. Baker, from a lot of the stuff that he's put online, and from others, that it might not work for everyone the same way it worked for me. For me, I just went cold turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I was able just to tolerate it, and there was. Some people get something called keto flu. I never had that. I just dove right in feet first, and I basically made the changes as I wished, on the fly. No no going about it in a gentle fashion or anything. I mean, it's dove right in, and that's how it worked for me. But I've come to realize through some stuff that he said, it may or may not work that way for everyone. There may be others who can't do that. They have to get into it more slowly, and fat adaptation can be something that might affect different people different ways. For example, a lot of women, including my wife, she doesn't have a gallbladder. She had it taken out. So we're still in discussion about that, me with her, but she thinks that fat gives her some issues, and maybe it does. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say. So I just have to let her decide what works for her, I guess. I don't know if you want to hear this part or not. I've had people. One gal I'm thinking of said when she saw me after months of not seeing me, she said, "Oh my gosh, you've lost so much weight," and everybody says, "Well, how did you do it?" And then you tell them. And one gal that I talked to, she said, "Oh, I'm carrying around 50 extra pounds I wish I could get rid of." And we got to talking about different foods and stuff like that, and the subject of milk came up. And I said, milk is one of those things that really works against you in any kind of weight loss or weight management or anything, because it's so full of sugar, and that's one of the things about it that's not so good, and she's, "Oh, I couldn't give up my milk." So I knew right then that you either want to do this and you want to make the change. You have to become friends with the food that's going to help you, I guess. And I guess the other way to say that is, what's the other thing that Dr. Baker says? New relationship with food.
Yes. You have to be willing to give up what's making you not well at this point too. So.
I was thinking about this here in the last few days. I thought, boy, there's some things that, man, if I allowed myself, I could really get into, some things that I really liked in the past. To be honest, still like if I allowed myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that if I eat some of those things, it'll taste so good when I eat it, like for an hour or something. But then for the next 6 or 8 hours, I'll feel terrible, and that's what it's taken me so long to get to, was the point that to recognize if I eat this thing here, this food here, it'll taste so good, but I'll feel so bad for a long period of time afterwards. My hands would puff up, other things, other side effects. And I said, I can eat meat, be really happy. I like meat. I like hamburger. Some people think you can't go out and eat, but we go to now. There's all kind of different hamburger chains, so I'm not endorsing or picking out any certain one. But in our particular town, there's a McDonald's, and I just sometimes of an evening when my wife wants a certain thing and I just want something quick, I'll just go up there and get basically they're what they call a McDouble, and I'll just get the hamburger patties, basically no cheese, no bun, no ketchup, and they put pickles on, but I don't eat them. And you can get like 1.5 pounds of hot cooked hamburger for not very much. They keep them on special, $2 for $3 all the time, or at least they have. And that's what I do. And you could do the same thing with Wendy's or the others, Burger King. Just eat the meat. And that's worked really well for me, and it's satisfying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be affordable. And I mean, when you think about buying bags of chips or bags of candy or something, you're going to pay a lot there too. So it's really not that expensive, I don't think, especially when you consider health. Health is very important and very expensive if you don't have your health. So
I remember in the past, I'll just make this quick. I remember in the past that I'm sure others have done the same thing. You sit down, and when I was so big, and you'd want a big bag of potato chips, the big one, and open that up and sit down and on the couch and eat the entire thing all at once. And then when you're done, you're still not satisfied. It doesn't satisfy you. It took me a long time to realize that, but that's how it is.
Yeah, you were looking for some nutrient density.
Yeah, and it tasted good, but that's it. Mm-hmm. Just the taste. That's all. Mm-hmm. No satisfaction quotient or whatever.
Right. So. Right. Well, Bobby, this has been a great success story. I'm impressed with all the healing that you have experienced, and I'm so happy that you came to share it with everyone. And if anyone wants to hire you to be their coach, you're on the coaching board at MeatRx, and I know you'd be more than happy to help someone to start the carnivore diet or answer questions.
Sure, I sure would. Yeah, sure would. So thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. I will see you around MeatRx, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.